My aunt is exploiting me. How do I quit babysitting her kid? Okay, so, I'm a 17-year-old girl, and I needed some advice about my aunt who's in her 30s. It all started when I was looking for a job that wouldn't kill my schedule, but would help me save for a car. Junior year of high school is already crazy, and I was even taking an online college course. Then my aunt asks if I can babysit her 7-year-old daughter after school. She promised $50 to $100 a week, depending on the hours. Seemed fine at first. I don't really connect with kids that much, and her daughter wasn't a joy to be around. This kid was the worst behaved I'd ever met. She was an angel to her mom, but to me she was a terror. She ran away when I wouldn't let her eat frosting straight from the can. She faked an asthma attack, and I almost called 911. She threw things and broke glass when she was angry. Then my aunt started increasing my hours, but kept my pay at $50. I tried to tell her that working 25 to 35 hours a week for that amount wasn't fair. She cried about how she couldn't afford more. Yet, she was buying her daughter expensive magic kits and other toys. I noticed she had just bought her a magic kit that cost more than $150. When I brought it up, she said no one else would watch her kid, and she'd lose her job. My grades were slipping. I'm in honors classes, and I didn't have time for homework. My aunt wouldn't let me do homework while I was babysitting. I'd get home, do homework until 1 in the morning, and wake up at 6. She even started asking me to work weekends, so I couldn't even see my friends. I was planning a school trip to Europe, had been planning it for a year. I told her about it when I started working. Then a week before, she told me I couldn't go because she needed a babysitter. She didn't ask, she told me I couldn't. I explained it was paid for and non-refundable. She started screaming about how inconsiderate I was. Her 21-year-old son lived at home, unemployed, and couldn't watch her daughter. When I asked her why he couldn't, she said he was getting a job but never did. She then assumed I would be working from 6 in the morning to 10 at night all summer, and all of my senior year. I hadn't even saved enough for a car. I knew I couldn't keep doing this. I had programs I wanted to do during the summer. So, I talked to my mom, and I mentioned I was not really related to my aunt, that she was a distant cousin. I told my mom everything, how my schoolwork was suffering, and that it wasn't helping our family anymore. My mom agreed it was wrong, and that my cousin should watch the kid, or someone who could handle her better. The day before my trip, I told my not really aunt I couldn't watch her daughter when I got back. She said it wasn't possible, and she had no one else. I told her my grades were failing, I had college finals, I couldn't control her kid anymore, and I wasn't being paid enough. I told her to look for other babysitters. She said if I wasn't there Monday, she'd be disappointed, and called me selfish. I went inside and asked my mom to talk to her, as she wouldn't take me seriously. My mom lied and said I couldn't work as a punishment because my grades were failing. My aunt got angry, made a remark that I wasn't adult enough to handle working in school, and my mom and her got in a fight. I got back, and I didn't babysit. I still get texts but I ignore them. All in all, I am done with college classes, and I will be a senior soon.